After winning the Hedge Week Best Risk Management Solution Award for the second year in a row, we have decided to invite Hamad Ebrahim to our offices. Today we will discuss the benefits of our software and how it has helped him to consistently perform throughout his career. Welcome to our current and prospective clients. Today we're joined by Hamad Ebrahim, who is a user of Alternative Soft and a fan of Alternative Soft. So maybe you could start by telling us a little bit about you and your experience with the software.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mike, for inviting me here today. I've been using Alternative Soft for over 13 years now. I'm an investment manager with over 13 years experience, so pretty much all of my experience and my career I've used Alternative Soft at one firm or another. As an investment manager, looking after or investing and portfolio managing traditional funds and alternative funds and traditional funds, and that's both initially in the Middle East and for the last 10 years here in London. So I've used Alternative Soft, so you can say globally.
Globally, that's great. And how did you first come across us or hear about us?
So about 13 years ago, which is quite a long time ago, we were looking to manage a portfolio at the time, of a portfolio of hedge funds, and trying to manage that in a much more professional and a more risk-minded framework. Alternative Soft stood out by far relative to anything else we saw at the time, and I have never looked back since.
And I guess, what did we provide that maybe other products didn't provide, or your internal process didn't provide at the time, that you think was a value add to your process?
To me, Alternative Soft has great functionality, and the team here has always incorporated the latest research in be it portfolio management or research in risk management, and added it to the software. So it's always been a situation like year by year you're kind of getting a updated or a better software package or a better tool to use more effectively in terms of the day-to-day management of investments and risk management of your investments. If I were to kind of take away the key things that for me were important, one of the key kind of functionalities that really stood out was the ability to uncover layers of risk in a portfolio. And it's a bit like peeling an onion away until you get to the core drivers of risk. So that was really important for us, especially like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And another great feature that I've always liked to use is looking at, whenever we're making a portfolio construction or looking at portfolio changes, looking at the implications of making those changes is a key part of risk managing a portfolio or even kind of managing a portfolio for performance.
Interesting. And kind of with that in mind, and your usage experience, what type of investment manager do you think would benefit from using this tool?
Anyone who's serious about managing a portfolio of funds, or even risk monitoring a portfolio of funds, should be using this tool, right? It stands out. It has great functionality. It's easy to use. Price point is compelling. This makes it an essential tool for a successful portfolio manager to have as the box of tools for being successful in this business.
So you mentioned that you use the tool as part of your portfolio construction process. Could you maybe go a bit deeper and discuss perhaps how our optimization package informed what you did day to day?
Sure. In my kind of role or business, we're continuously seeing new managers, new funds come up. Either they're completely new, or, for example, they're funds that historically have been unavailable but are now available for general investment or for specific investment. So we're continuously having to evaluate kind of potential new additions to the portfolio. So that's one. And two, don't forget, a big element of the portfolio is there'll be performance differences between different funds within each portfolio. So you start at time zero with a certain kind of risk profile for your portfolio. 1 year down the line, some have done really well, some maybe have done not so well, and then some have done okay-ish. And then but your portfolio and your risk profile is now very different than how you started out. So understanding where you are now and thinking about what do you need to do to get that risk profile back to where it started, if that's your goal. The tool helps you to think through these steps and make an informed decision about what you really want to achieve with your portfolio. Right. A lot of people tend to just kind of invest based on capacity or availability, which is fine, but it ends up having a very different risk profile and behaves differently than when you started. So then you shouldn't be surprised when your portfolio behaves in a very different way. So the tool to me is like a great tool to be able to think through exactly what this journey, a portfolio management journey, is. And for me, I always think in terms of the risks. When I say portfolio management, I tend to kind of use it interchangeably with risk management, because any kind of investment is a risk management exercise. You're trying to get rewarded for the risks, the excess risks you're taking, right? Or excess performance for the risks you're taking. So having a tool which helps you think through this step by step and play with different scenarios, or what if I do this, what if I do that? Can I change the risk profile by changing the weights, or do I need to kind of put an overlay on, or do I need to add a different kind of fund? This is a fantastic kind of tool to help you create a portfolio that you desire, and then maintain that profile if that's what your goal is. So those are the key kind of things that I've historically used the tool for.
So you're, judging from that, you're a big user of the manual portfolio construction, or MPC button for adjusting weights and seeing risk attributions and such.
I have to admit, I do like the automatic optimization options. But it's like one kind of data point for me, and then I will play around with the manual element as well, just to see
post-optimization.
To see, because some things look really well from a quant perspective, but qualitative, you need to have that qualitative judgment as well to say, well, does this make sense, right? You have to understand the advantages and disadvantages of quantitative tools, right? And being able to overlay a qualitative judgment is part of the secret sauce to get the best out of the software, right? Of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't need people like me, and you just have techies running portfolios day in, day out.
Overall, sounds like you're pleased with the offering.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, it's like I've had a long career in investment management, portfolio management, and risk management, so to speak, and hopefully a longer one still. Over my 13 years, I can say that one of the key reasons for my success, and the key reasons why I have been able to outperform my benchmark is working with tools like Alternative Soft.
Interesting. So I guess as a kind of follow-on from that, where do you see the future of investment management and fintech or financial technology is the buzzword going?
I think that's a fascinating question.
I mean, do you see more integration, or do you see?
It feels like the quantitative world is taking over the world, and we're seeing that elements of that, be it automation or quant-driven self-investment platforms, slowly erode the kind of the discretionary person. I can think of things that I never considered would happen, right? A robot replacing bricklayers or a robot flipping burgers. I just didn't imagine a world where that would exist like 5 years ago, but it started. So, to come back fully to your question, in the financial world, clearly, as more data is available, and I'm going to include alternative data sets, right, where you can create algorithms to infer kind of qualitative decisions of qualitative factors that would historically come from kind of like almost like intuition or experience from a person, then more and more investment managers kind of get replaced by quant systems. But I still believe there's a place for the investment manager, and having that ability to marry the quant element with the human element is a very strong model, and is here to stay for a while. I mean, just think about it in terms of airplanes, right? Most of them fly by themselves, but you still need somebody there, right? And I would think of it like it'd be a bit strange if we live in a world where everything is automated in the financial world and there's no human interface at all.
Yeah, I guess for stakeholders it's harder to trust a computer than it is a person sat opposite you, explaining your portfolio, discussing the choices they've made, breaking bad news to you, I guess, as well.
Exactly, right? It's an interesting. We're in an interesting kind of time in history where this field of fintech, quant, systematic, is just kind of like increasing at a rapid rate, and the potential there is unbelievable. Maybe down the road there's a quant system or a fintech application which reviews other quant systems, and you don't need people like me to choose like an alternative software or a different package, right?
Yeah.
We have a quant package, just chooses what it needs.
A software stress test and such.
I don't know.
You've spoken about the product and your background and how the product has influenced decisions you've made and helped with the process of portfolio construction. What about, you've come in today and you've met the team in person, so how has the team helped you achieve your goals?
Yeah. So Mike, as a reminder, I was just saying that I've been using alternative soft for 13 years, so it's from 13 years, over that 13 years, it's kind of jumped in leaps and bounds in terms of what it can do, how it looks like, how easy it is to use. The support team has always been an integral part of the offering, I would say. Anytime we have questions, anytime we want additional features or additional functionality, it was always the easiest just to get on a call or meet the support team and make the case, okay, we need X, Y, Z, and they've always been helpful in kind of delivering those things. Or, having a support team come into the office to help us use the package, use it better in a more efficient way, or learn about the application. the new features. It's always been a great element of the support team.
So, as a kind of round off point, I mean, would you recommend the software for a practitioner?
Without a doubt, I would recommend it. Without a doubt, I would recommend it. Having said that, to me, it's been one of those tools which has helped me outperform consistently outperform over 13 years. So I'm not sure, a small part of me doesn't want the competition to get worse, more difficult. But I would definitely recommend the application. I think anyone who's serious about portfolio managing or risk managing a portfolio of funds, if they're serious, they should be using a tool like Alternative Soft.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time, Hamad. Thanks for coming in and meeting the team and sitting down and speaking to us about your experience with the tool. And thank you.
Thank you very much.